On the banks of the Ganges stands Kashi, one of the oldest living cities on Earth. It is a place where life and death occupy the same space, separated only by the rising smoke of funeral fires that burn without pause. The air is thick with ash and the smell of sandalwood. For most, the sensory weight of the Ghats is a reminder of their own mortality, a visceral confrontation with the one reality humanity works hardest to ignore. Within this haze, stories take shape. For generations, the narrow lanes have carried whispers of the Aghoris, men who make their homes beside the pyres and are said to practice rituals that belong to the shadows. These accounts describe a life lived in a setting that terrifies the average person. It raises a question that has persisted for centuries. What do these men see in flames the rest of the world turns from? Covered in the ash of the dead, the Aghori sits in a silence that mimics the river. To a passerby, he is an intimidating figure, appearing to inhabit the boundary between the living city and the spirit world. Local lore suggests these ascetics possess knowledge of the occult, communicating with the wandering spirits that are said to linger where the bodies are released. By choosing to remain here long after the crowds have departed, they turn their focus toward the night, intentionally stripping away the comforts of a standard life. Under a vast sky, the individual is reduced to a single point of light. The Aghori leans into this isolation, facing the scale of the universe without the buffer of societal distraction. This deliberate proximity to the unsettling suggests a different perspective. In the Aghori tradition, the cremation ground is less a place of horror and more a specific kind of environment, one designed to test the limits of what a human being can endure before they stop being afraid. While the public image of the Aghori begins at the pyre, the philosophy itself begins at the source of life. Moving away from the ash of Kashi, the trail leads to the sun-drenched hills of Assam. This is Kamakhya, a primary center for Shakti worship. It is a site dedicated to the force of creation, where seekers have gathered for centuries to honor the power from which all existence physically emerges. This is the foundation of Tantra, a philosophical framework that seeks unity in all things. It posits that every aspect of the world, no matter how jarring, is a manifestation of a single underlying energy. This energy is viewed as a raw, untamed current that moves through the landscape and every living creature within it. In this context, the cycle of birth and the process of decay are understood as the same continuous movement. To the Aghori, the two are inseparable parts of a single rhythmic pulse. Beyond individual lifespans lies the scale of deep time. History shows that civilizations and mountains alike are subject to the same slow, inevitable erosion. Elements change, stone wears down. Time remains the only force in the physical world that has never been defeated. The city of Ujjain is dedicated to Mahakal, the Lord of Time. It is a place built on the recognition that every moment is passing, and that true devotion requires facing that reality without flinching. Thousands move through these courtyards every day, a human river that has flowed through these same stone gates for 1,000 years. Each person navigates this space with the knowledge that their own time is a finite resource. The Aghori philosophy attempts to connect this individual experience to the cosmic scale, viewing the passage of time as a current that carries the entire universe forward. This acceptance of impermanence changes the relationship with loss. When change is recognized as a fundamental truth, the grip of fear begins to loosen. Returning to Kashi with this perspective, the burning Ghats take on a different quality. The smoke and the bells suggest a space for observation rather than a source of dread. The cremation fire becomes a physical demonstration of the body returning to its elements. It is the visible end of a physical form, a process of shedding what is no longer needed. The term Aghora refers to a state that is beyond fear. It is the practice of removing the mental barriers that categorize the world into what we want and what we find repulsive. Life on the riverfront continues with an immense golden energy, occurring alongside the final rites at the water's edge. The Aghori chooses this environment to practice a specific form of detachment. By staying in the place the world fears most, they work to dissolve the internal boundaries that keep a person reactive and afraid. At dawn, the river returns to a state of calm. The world often looks at the Aghori as a figure of mystery, an outlier living on the fringe of society. However, their presence highlights a different mystery: why the majority of humanity chooses to live in a state of constant avoidance regarding change, loss, and the nature of time. The ascetic continues his walk, having stripped away the specific anxieties and social pretenses that occupy the lives of those in the city. He moves towards a state of internal quiet, unburdened by the standard aversions that dictate human behavior. His journey leaves us with a question to consider. If the things you fear no longer had any power over you, who would you become?